Going on, guys? An absolutely nasty day outside. Huge storm. That's why we have to do a video in the garage today. We're supposed to get like 3 inches of rain. It's early in the morning, just had some breakfast, and I just wanted to bring this video to you guys so you guys could check out exactly how the switchgear is, how all the controls are laid out, how the dash looks, and what you guys actually see. So this video will kind of be good for you guys that are planning on getting a new 2024 Street Glide or Road Glide or CVO or CVO ST. So this way you guys kind of know what you're getting. In the next days and weeks, there's just so much to go over on this bike. I really wanted to do this video today, kind of to show you guys all of the different things that are on this bike, but I can't because it's absolutely pouring outside today and it's gonna be raining all day. So hopefully tomorrow I could get another video to you guys out. The next video is going to be about all of the kind of different things that I've been noticing on this bike compared to the previous generation motorcycle. So if you guys are new to this channel, do me a favor, give this video a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, follow me along on this journey. And I do have a name for the bike. I'm pretty sure I have a name. It's like 99.9% affirmed, and it's thanks to one of the viewers gave me the suggestion, but I'll mention it in the next video. So if you guys are gonna enjoy types of content like this, we do a lot of ride videos all over the country. This bike, again, will be upgraded just like my previous bikes. Stay tuned for those videos. So like I said, hit that subscribe button so this way you guys will be notified of any videos that are gonna come out. So that's what we're gonna go over today, because everything on this switchgear cluster, switch housing, whatever you wanna call it, it is totally different than the previous model. And if you guys already know, I'm a huge fan, a gigantic fan of what Harley Davidson did with these new models. They're just absolutely beautiful. And not only with the styling, just everything about what we're gonna be talking about today, how all the buttons are laid out, the infotainment system. I'm gonna be making a lot of videos about this bike because it is so different compared to my previous model, the 2022 Road Glide that I had, performance bagger, Mad Max. So we definitely have a name for her, and it's going to look awesome. I have 2 builds coming up on this. We're gonna be doing, since the aftermarket industry isn't really caught up because it's a new model, it's gonna take them a while for all the manufacturers to kind of make all the performance upgrades on it that we all love and enjoy, right? So Harley Davidson already has a lot of parts for this bike. So that's what we're gonna do first. We're gonna do kind of a Harley upgrades on it first, and then probably in time, maybe in the fall or winter, over the fall and winter, because in order to do a major, some engine work and a lot of upgrades, the bike is going to be down. So I don't want to do that over the summer because I want to ride, if that makes sense. So that's when I'm going to do it, probably late fall, in the winter, and we'll have a nice, performance bagger build series for you guys on this bike. But in the meantime, I'm waiting for parts from Harley Davidson. When those come, I'll bring you those videos. We already have a bunch of custom dynamics parts that are like right here that are gonna go on the bike, but we're waiting on a Saddleman seat. I should actually have that in a couple days. So I'll bring you guys that video. So like I said, as time goes on and as the manufacturers start producing parts for this bike, we'll bring you guys those videos. But I have some great ideas for this bike. Definitely a little bit different than Mad Max, but definitely it's going to be definitely in that performance bagger category that I love and seems like you guys love as well. So this is where we're going to be talking about today. Left side, right side, all of the switches, all the buttons. I'll flip the bike on. I have the bike on a battery tender. just so I don't drain the battery as I'm making this video. I have the bike stood upright on a stand. So this way you guys, the bike's straight up. So this way you guys get a nice clear view. And I'll zoom in on all of the buttons so you guys could see exactly what I'm talking about. And then I'll show you guys on the screen kind of what you see. So this way you guys could get an idea if you guys are looking to purchase a 2024 model. You'll know what you're gonna get. And it's just amazing. I am a fan of technology, even though I liked my previous bike. But then when this one came out, when the new models came out, it just blew me away. I personally love technology, and I personally love this gigantic large screen right there because it has all of the information on it. It is so well lit up. You see everything. You don't have to look in several different places. Like on my last bike, I had the infotainment system. Then, you know, I had the gauges here. And then obviously there's gauges on the left and right. Your eyes are all over the place. But with this infotainment system, everything is one spot. At a quick glance, you could see pretty much everything you need to. And like I just said, this thing is so lit up, you could see it clearly, whether it's in the day or you know, at night. It's just amazing. So I'm gonna move the camera. I'm gonna show you guys what the buttons are on the left side, what the buttons are on the right side, and then we'll actually go through the infotainment system to show you guys all of the different features that it has, and there is a lot. So right here in the front of the switch housing, you have the flash to pass. Then if you push forward, that's going to turn on your high beams. I love this. Before, the high beam switch was like right here. And then the buttons on top, right here is the cruise control. That's going to be to turn on the cruise control. This is going to be to set your cruise control. And then once it's set, you could either click the back of the button to decelerate and then click the forward portion of the button to accelerate. Right here you have your traction control. I believe you could, I'm not sure if you could, I guess you could shut the traction control off, but that's what you would use that for. And then this forward button right here, this is the button you use. If you push it, I'll show you guys later. That's going to be used to toggle through your menus and exactly what you see as far as on the display. And then coming here, you have a lot of people call it the, I don't know, hamburger button or whatever, but that's basically going to be used to kind of bring you back to kind of the home screen to if you want to start over. This is a back button, so if you are in a menu, if you click this button, it will take you to the previous menu. And then this wheel right here is going to be up, down, left, right to kind of move. I'll show you guys later to kind of move the cursor around. And also this was told by us that if you have a smaller hand, you see this little center button. That's also, if you click on it, that's if you want to pretty much say, okay, I want to go into that menu system. But also you could use it kind of like a push-pull down up instead of going all the way to the left, right, top, and bottom of this switch housing. You could kind of use it like that, which is pretty cool. So then on the bottom here, you have your left turn signal. On the right side, you have horn. This is absolutely amazing. I absolutely love how they positioned all of the buttons. And then going over to the right side on the top, this is your start kill switch right here. So you would actually press that on like so. Lights come on, infotainment system comes on, fuel pump, primes, and then you would just click this back button just once. This button, so you guys know, it's not like the older bikes where you had to hold it. You just press it, let it go, and the bike will start. And then coming down to here, you have a lot of switches here you would use like for intercom, for talking, you know, if you want to make a phone call, microphone right here on the right. And then the same thing over here as you had on the left side, you have your play, pause button. If you press that, you have volume up, volume down. And then over here, left, right, you could toggle between tracks. And then on the bottom, you have your right turn signal. And then this button right here on the left is your mode selector switch, which will toggle between road, rain, and sport mode, which I'll show you guys on the infotainment system in a second. But I just wanted to show you guys how the buttons are laid out. I'm telling you, it's just really, really comfortable to use, and the positioning of where they placed all of the buttons is just ergonomically correct. All right, guys, so let's start off by putting the power onto the bike. So I'll just, I'm gonna have the camera in hand, so I want you guys to understand what I'm touching and what it's actually doing. So if you guys could see here on the left, you have your fuel gauge right there, and then you have your speedometer. Not only does it show it on the clock with the needle, but it also tells you your speed. On the left, in the center, which is right there. Let me just get out of that. Hang on. And then on the bottom of that is your gear indicator, saying that it's in neutral. On the bottom, you have your traction control and ABS lights flashing, obviously because the bike's not turned on. You have a clock there. I have it in military time right now. And over to the left, that's where it says sport. It may look a little orange, but it's actually in red. So that's on the left side. Up here on top on the left, you have, right now I'm in FM, so it's just telling you which radio station that you're on. And then coming over to the right, you have some like warning lamps over here, check engine, oil, stuff like that. Bluetooth, because my phone is actually connected right now. So you have Bluetooth connection, and then you have battery life on your phone. Coming over to the right over here, you have battery voltage, and then you have your tachometer, you have your mileage right there, and then this is inside of the tach. When I told you guys before, this button right here with kind of a circle on it, so that button, if you cycle through that button, there's gonna be different displays showing. Let me click OK again. There's gonna be different display showing every single time you click this button. So I'm not going to keep going back and forth to that button, but this is the button right here I'm going to be pressing. So right now it's on trip A, 6.6 miles, 24.9 miles per gallon, but I'm going to definitely get a lot more. I've only ridden this bike 18 miles, as you guys can see, so that's obviously going to go up. So as I'm pressing the button, I'll press it once. Now it's going to trip B, 27.2 miles per gallon. I'm gonna press it again. Now you have outside air temperature on the top, 61 degrees. It's 61 degrees obviously inside the garage here. 185 miles, that's telling you how many miles you have left with your fuel on your tank. I'm gonna click it again. This is awesome. The standards come with tire pressure monitoring system, which I love. 37 PSI in the front, 39 PSI in the back. Click it again. Nothing, but I think it does show something when you're riding. I forgot. Click it again. You get a compass, which is cool. Why is it cool? Because if you're in the middle of nowhere and you lose some cell connection, or you don't have GPS, whatever connection, the bike's gonna have a GPS connection. It's always gonna show you a compass. And listen, if you wanna get out of somewhere, if you don't know which direction you're riding to, but you know, for instance, you need to ride towards the west, at least you have a compass on the bike to kind of tell you that. So that's great. And then when I click it again, it's going to go back to trip A and 24.9 miles per gallon. So I love this screen. So now I'm going to click this button right there. I don't know, they call it like a hamburger button. I don't know if my camera could focus in, but it's right there. If you click that button, you're going to come to this right here. The middle is actually going to show up. So you could click, let me get back to there. You could actually, we're gonna start in the right here, the settings. If you click that, and what I'm doing is I'm clicking, this is kind of like, okay. So I'm scrolling, see you could scroll down, right? It's moving up and down. I'm actually using this control wheel right here to actually move up and down, left and right. And if I want to click on something, I just press the center of that button, if that makes sense. So let's go all the way up to the top. Let me go all the way back just to show you guys. So I'm gonna go up into settings. And okay, so that's device manager. So I'm gonna click on that. This is where you would pair your phone. Yeah, so if you click on device manager, this is the section where you're gonna pair your phone. And then you see how I came out of that is with this back arrow button right there. So now I'm gonna go down to sound. So now audio routing, whether you want music, media, or your headset, or on your speakers, prompt speakers, or on the headset, back button, volume settings, so you could adjust your speakers on your media, right? You could adjust that, or your prompts. Then you could adjust your rider headset. You could adjust your passenger headset. I'm gonna come back out of here. This is cool. You got auto volume control, and then you have an equalizer. So you could either put it on, they have so many different settings. You could either have it on HD signature, country, jazz, pop, rhythm and blues, metal, rock, classical, acoustic, dance, electronic, hip hop, highway. I have mine actually in custom. So when you click on custom, you could actually play with your equalizer to kind of get the sound that you want. And just so you guys know, the stereo system it's decent on here. It's not super loud, but I'm actually going to be getting the upgraded audio. So stay tuned for that video through Harley Davidson, the Rockford Fosgate. So stay tuned for that. So let's see, speaker setup. Audio will be disabled during speaker setup. Do you want to continue? I'm just gonna come out of there. I just want to show you VOX sensitivity. That's it for sound settings. Then you go into display layout. So let's go into layout. So you could either have a cruise layout, which you have 2 gauges. This is the cruise layout actually that I'm in now. Gauge on the left, a gauge on the right, and then in the middle, that's where you have all the function buttons. This is actually the cruise setup now. If I toggle to the right, then you have sport. That means it's going to actually bundle these 2 gauges into one in the middle as shown. And then you have a touring where it's going to bundle the left and the right over to the left, and the whole right side is actually going to be a map. So right now, I'm gonna leave it into cruise. I'm gonna back out of here. Auto day and night, so you could turn that off whether or not you want it to automatically adjust whether it's day or night. Obviously, I have that left on. The brightness is on 9. So what happens is if you click that high contrast button right there, toggle that on, it's gonna be on white all the time, and I don't want that. Touch tone, I want that. And then that's it for the display. Let me see, system. So if you click on system, you have your date and time, you have language, you have units right there, pressure, fuel economy, and so forth, miles. And then bike function setup. This is where you could actually, you don't even need to go to the dealer. If you want front fog headlights or cool flow fan, you could just toggle them on right there. And once you install them, I think they should be operational and functional. You don't have to go to the dealer, I think, to get it flashed, which is pretty cool. And then you have system info, product information, e-labels, copyright. This is where you change your security pin and stuff like that. Factory reset. Let me see what else. Bike function setup, date and time, auto, date format, time format. I'm gonna change to 12-hour. Even though I was in the military, I'm so used to just the regular. Let me see, bike function. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna come out of here because that's system settings. And now ride modes. So ride modes, you see we have road, sport, and rain. That's what I currently have on the bike. but watch when I toggle up. Watch when I toggle up to custom A. If you go into there, then you could actually go into pretty much, you could make your own custom ride mode. I have not done that yet. I might actually do a separate video on that because that's going to be really, really interesting. But in this video, I just wanted to show you guys how this entire infotainment system works. All right, so let me get out of those are your ride modes. Oh, so if you want them to show, like here on the left, that's why you have the boxes are check marked, if that makes sense. Tuner, so RBDS, that's kind of just what you want to use. Do you want to use HD, radio FM, blah, blah, blah. I do have the radio. Then you go into phone, reply to messages, contacts, display, order. I really don't make phone calls while I'm riding. I may answer one if it's important from my family, but I never make a phone call when I'm on the bike. Then we go to Wi-Fi. That's to hook up Wi-Fi, and then that's help. So let me get out of here. Let me see, system ride modes. Okay, that's it out of there. Let me go back. So now motorcycle. So this is just if you want to turn the infotainment on and off. Maybe you're riding at night. Like people would ask, why would you want the infotainment off? I'll be honest with you, if you're riding at night for long hours and your eyes are tired, you know how headlights in the distance bother you coming at you? I love this option because you could turn the infotainment off to kind of just give your eyes a break for a little bit. So I like that option. And then into music, well, this is where once your phone is connected, you could go through whether it's AM, FM, or Bluetooth. I'm gonna back out of there. And then this is where the compass, navigation disabled. Oh, okay, I've never been in here. Navigation, so that's navigation, not compass. So you have to purchase, I don't exactly know how much the Harley navigation is. Am I going to get it? I'm not certain because I've been using Waze on my phone for the longest time and I love it. So I don't know. So I guess you just scan that QR code and I guess you make the purchase and then navigation would be working. So let me scroll down to the phone. So this is where your phone would be. If you want to make, you add contact, favorites, stuff like that, you can make phone calls. But again, I never make phone calls. So let's go down to the star right there. And this is basically global favorites. Add favorites from media, tuner, and phone to set global favorites. Probably not going to use that. The only thing that I do while I'm riding, just so you guys know, with my phone is basically use the GPS, which would be the Waze, right? Or play music. That's it. If, like I said, I never ever make a phone call while I'm riding. I will answer it if it is from my family and I feel it's important, then I'll answer, but I'll still pull over. But I'm never actually placing a phone call while I'm on my bike. I will pull over at a rest stop, gas stop, wherever, even on the side of the road, if I feel I have to make a phone call. So I'm never really fumbling for that. Normally, I get on the bike, start up my music, and I'm ready to go. Have my Waze up and running. So let me see if there's anything. Okay, so what's cool about this bike, if you put the power on, which you guys just noticed, if you leave the power on after a couple minutes, the bike shuts off. And that's good because it's not going to drain your battery. It's like an automatic shut off, kind of like on your phone. So in order to turn the bike power back on, you're going to have to put it in the off mode for a couple seconds and then click the bike back on, and then we're in business again. And that's a great feature because, you know, a lot of times people forget to leave the power onto their bike. They may walk away because somebody's talking to them. And then after they finish that conversation, they might just go inside to get something to eat and forget, and then come back outside and the battery is dead on your bike. So that option is fantastic. So I'm going to come back with this button right here. That's going to bring us to the home screen in the middle, which is that. And we went through this. So The only other thing is here, I believe that's for garage door opener. I believe I may hook that up in the future, but that's actually connected to CarPlay. And the reason why the CarPlay, let's actually just go over this now. This is the only thing so far, the only gripe I have about the 2024s. Let me show you. I have my phone hooked up right now, right? So what's fantastic, I mean super fantastic about this bike is that if you guys remember on the 2022, in order to get Apple CarPlay, which it didn't even come with, you would have to buy that $15 Amazon connector, which I showed you guys. You have to take your fairing off and install that connector under the front fairing, install that connector, and then which would actually give you the Apple CarPlay. It's kind of, I don't know, I'm not sure exactly what the connector is called, but it gives you Apple CarPlay. I'm sure a lot of you guys are aware of that. And then what would happen is, in order to get Apple CarPlay on the previous model bike, you would have to actually plug it into the dongle here, right, in order to run the Apple CarPlay. But I actually did a fix on my previous model bike where I took this wire right here, the dongle, the power wire, and I actually took it out of the fairing and routed it up underneath the fairing and actually bought, it's on Amazon, $100 Bluetooth wireless adapter or connector. And once you plug it into that, then you have wireless Apple CarPlay, which was fantastic on my 2022 Road Glide. So the great thing about this bike, there's a great thing and there's a not so great thing. The great thing is that it is wireless Apple CarPlay and you do get it. But this is the problem, is that right there, it says connect headset to use Apple CarPlay. You have to be connected, and this is my only gripe. My only gripe about, I love this bike, this is my only gripe. Why do I have to connect to a headset in order to be able to get Apple CarPlay on this? For me, it doesn't make sense. I should have the option whether or not I want to hook up to a headset or not. Say I don't have a headset. Say my headset gets broken on a trip or gets lost, whatever. Now, I have to utilize my phone because I do not have Apple CarPlay on the screen. So I wish they would have gave us the option at least. Do you want to plug into a headset? Do you not want to plug into a headset? And still be able to use the Apple CarPlay on this beautiful, gorgeous infotainment system, on this beautiful screen. But that's not the case. You have to be plugged into a headset. It's the only gripe I have. So right now I am not plugged into a headset. I'll bring you guys those videos in the future. So once I'm plugged into my Cardo, then I'll show you guys how the Apple CarPlay would work. So what it's going to do is basically it would bring up a map here. So you would still have the two gauges if you're in the Krause, and see that keeps popping up, which is annoying. So you would still have the two gauges, but your Apple CarPlay would pop up here with the map. Or, which is fantastic, let me go back here, let me go to settings, let me go to display, and let's change the layout. Let me show you guys how the layouts look. So that's sport right there. That's pretty cool. So you have pretty much all the information you need inside that one gauge. You have fuel, battery, gear indicator, you have how fast you're going, speed, and then you have your tach, which is great. And then I'm not sure what information, I guess the function buttons would be on the left and maybe a map on the right. But this one, let me show you this one. Now let me toggle to the tour. Now this is the tour. So when I'm going to be traveling on a trip, I'm definitely going to keep it in this tour display because you have whatever, you have a minimal gauge here. You have your fuel, you have your miles per hour, you have your gear indicator, time, and how many miles you have done already. It's kind of minimal, but that's all you need for long distance touring. What happens on all of this real estate is basically a map. So I really like that. If you want a large map, but I mean, me personally, for touring, I would definitely have it obviously in the tour mode. Let me just make sure. Yeah, it's called the tour mode, so it makes sense. That's what I would have it in. And then when I'm in around town, I would probably let me see. I'd probably have it in a sport mode, to tell you the truth. I like that one centered gauge. It just looks really good. The colors might come off a little bit because of the camera, but like, you know, these are like bright reds right here, orange, red, and even on the bottom, it's all bright orange and red. But yeah, that's pretty much it about that. I'm actually gonna leave it. I'll actually leave it in this one. Let me go back. Yeah, you see, so exactly what I said before. You'll have the function buttons wherever you want to get into, and then you will have your map on the right. So that's pretty cool. I like that. I actually like all three of them, but definitely if I'm doing long trips, I'm probably definitely going to want to be on the tour display. And you see, it keeps popping up, and that's my only gripe about this bike. I absolutely love everything they did, but I just wish I didn't have to plug in or hook up a headset in order to use Apple CarPlay. But the Apple CarPlay is there already on the bike, and it is wireless, which is 2 thumbs up. That's huge. There's a lot of other things that are different on this bike that we are going to go over. All right, guys, there is just so much to go over on this bike. I just wanted to bring you a short video as far as how the buttons are laid out and stuff, and how the display looks. But there's just so much to go over. I love this bike. I love, like I told you guys, I love the design, the styling. But the next video, we're gonna go over the entire bike. We're gonna top to bottom, back to front, all the way around. We're gonna go over a lot of different things that are different from this model than the previous generation. There's really a lot. It's other than, I think, the frame. It's the frame and a couple other different things. Obviously, the trans, the primary, stuff like that. The motor is slightly different. So, I mean, it's just, there's so many changes to go over, and I like to share that information with you guys. Because if you guys are planning on buying one, it'll let you guys kind of know what to expect. And just so you guys have that information, instead of you guys finding out maybe a year down the road and say, oh man, I didn't even know these 24 models did that or had that. So thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate it. Crappy, rainy day on a weekend, but we're going to bring you guys so many ride videos this year. We also have a gigantic cross-country trip, so stay tuned for that. Really looking forward to be bringing the videos on this brand new 2024 Road Glide model, and we'll see you guys on the next one. Hope everybody's safe. Love every single one of you guys. Peace out.